Hey guys, it's that fat worthless piece of shit you all know and love named Rezix. What's going on? And in today's video, dude. I can't do this. Something just doesn't feel right. I'm having kind of an issue because I've been playing a different game. This different game being
Enter a world where three-headed things with perfect frigging teeth try to wreck your day. You need the hot chick and the spandex with the magic arrows, and a guy with a beard and some sort of a dress-looking thing to solve problems on an epic scale. And look at the colors. Yes, lots of colors. Play a game that updates every week. Play Adventure Quest Worlds.
Wait. I know you guys aren't used to seeing me here. Now, I have something to tell you guys, all of you. As much as I enjoy and I love Warframe, there's no issues I'm having. I will still be uploading and playing Warframe, but I gotta say, something else has caught my attention. Something new. Well, maybe not new, but old. Now, when I make this statement, I ain't specifically talking about Warframe in particular. I'm talking about just kind of all new games. The thing about new games when they drop is they either drop with no content, but they look really good. That's kind of the struggle Warframe faces. So if the people who are on Warframe can just hear me out for this video, humor me even, I'll get your attention. Did that get your attention? Are very important to me. Not only have I found a new love for this game, but when you can't look forward, common human nature is to look back. That's why history tends to repeat itself, is we always look backwards instead of looking forwards. Take that as you will, whether it's good or bad. So let me take you back to a time. Okay, maybe we ran it a little too far back. I've grown a lot since then, so let's move it forward. First thing you'll do first is type in AQ World, AQW, Adventure Quest World, whatever you may need to do to get here. Another thing you'll have to do is download the launcher so you can actually play the game. Because once again, once you make your way here, you can choose between 1 and 4 classes. Warrior being the guy who sticks his sword dick at everything. Rogue, the guy who dodges everything. Mage, do lots of damage from far. I don't know if any of you played Dark Souls, think of Mage like that. And Healer, I mean, that's self-explanatory. You know, Mercy from Overwatch, Heroes Never Die. Now, we live in the year 2025, so obviously picking your gender is probably controversial. Then you'll be dropped here. Then the game will teach you the basics of how to play the game. One thing that this game is great for that I can't seem to get over myself is this game isn't just 10 years old. It released June 2nd, 2008. This game is pushing 20 years old. This game is almost as old as I am. Another thing that's also crazy to think about is it beat the original software it was built on. Adobe Flash died before this game shut down. Now, don't get me wrong. This is probably a game a lot of you have tried, if not played, or even recognize. I'm doing a call to action. I've noticed the player numbers dwindling. Party 1 from back in 2012 is dead. But not only do these developers deserve your love and support, I support them as much as I can. We need more players. They release weekly content. They make updates for the game frequently. They continue to release classes on a frequent basis and give everybody updates that just make the game so much better. I mean, the tutorial being a tutorial, you just run through and do the tutorial, make sure you learn how to do everything, you know how to kill everything, you know how to, fuck everything. You learn how to battle, you learn how to accept quests, you learn how to, you get a questing badge, you learn how to use your skills, which are these down here. You get a shop badge, you get an enhancement badge, you get a healing badge, you get a world interaction badge, emote badge, and a travel badge. Next, you'll move from the tutorial to Undead Invasion, where you make your way through Swordhaven Undead, a town in chaos and ruins in the middle of a battle where there's a skeleton army while you just casually walk through them all. Then you get to something really interesting. You get to the boss fight where it's good versus evil. And you watch Daddy Good fight versus Ladyboy Evil. Then bro gets third-partied by a motherfucker who's wearing purple. This purple motherfucker goes, douche. Bro aura poses, they all look at him and he's got the big ass wings. His name is Drakath. You watch the living undead essence in him get pulled out. He screams, I am darkness, I am doom. No force on this world can destroy what I am. Long unlive the Shadow Scythe. Minecraft enchantment table noises. So after the tutorial and after the undead invasion, you make your way through the 13 Lords of Chaos story. I'm not going to cover them all. I just wanted to show you kind of what you're getting into. Don't get me wrong, if I had to give you like a personal preference, the Mirror Realm is my favorite storyline. Obviously, another thing that's really cool to mention here real quick is you don't have to do the story in order. You can do them however you damn well please. The only thing you won't be able to do is the Chaos finale until you've done all the 13 Lords of Chaos plus the tutorial. Now, the first thought you'll probably have after you do the story is you finish the 13 Lords of Chaos, you're like me, you don't know what to do. You're like, damn, that was epic. I haven't touched this game in a fat minute, but it feels really good, but I want to do more. The fun doesn't stop there. That isn't it for the story. You make your way to the map, you go to story, you press this arrow and you realize, oh my god, there's a whole bunch of other sagas you have left to do, and as you can see, I haven't even finished them myself. Obviously, shameless self-promotion here. If you'd like to watch me play this game while I finish the stories, follow me on twitch.tv/Rezex, links in the description. I think the craziest part about that is that's not even it for the story. There's more. That's just the main story. Is old, right? This game came out in 2008. I touched this game for the very first time in 2010. There's so many different things to farm. I can't even begin to go over how much is actually in this game. This is all different zones, places you can do, story. As in, one thing I really got to give them props for in the sense of keeping the game fresh is they update the game at least once a week. Find that here on the calendar to kind of see what's coming, as well as boost, things to progress your game better, faster, and make yourself stronger. It's listed here on their event calendar for every day. Usually every Friday they have some sort of update for the game. And the thing about their update isn't just one update. Yes, they release every week and it's like one map that's basically like one little tile set. But right now I came to the Christmas event that is Frostvale, and not only can I play the newest thing, which is Frostvale Part 2, but I went back to the OG Frostvale Part 1 and I have not one, not two, but 3 pages of content to go through, which is all different maps with different sets, different bosses, different story. This game gets really thick and really deep really quick. Then after making your way through a goddamn mountainside pass, going through all these caves, wondering if they lead anywhere, if it's not leading to death, it's leading to this motherfucker who has 13,000 eyes, who's ripped, looks like a goddamn bug, but it's the sickest fucking cockroach you've ever seen. Bro has horns like the devil. Not only that, the difference between Nulgath and Dage is Nulgath they both have really great items. Like, both fashion styles are just immaculate. The only thing that I noticed is difference between them is Nulgath is absolute chaos when it comes to grinding his stuff. You need this for that and the other. Dage is very organized. Dage is very professional. Nulgath is chaos, but cool shit. Dage is very organized, but cool shit. Now, if you had to choose between both of them, you really, you can't choose one or the other because they both have such cool shit. The only thing you're choosing is fucking both. I just talked a little bit about Nulgath. Let's talk about this blue guy. Dage the Evil. Now, Dage the Evil is this arch nemesis of Nulgath, and I don't know the lore super deep of AQ. I don't know what's going on. That's why I haven't really covered the story in depth. I don't even know why they're fighting. All I know is they're enemies and they're trying to take over the underworld. So, on top of you trying to kill 13 other people who are trying to take over the overworld, and then there's a guy who's like a third party because there's a good and war evil going on, right? And then there's the Chaos Lords, right? And then there's an underworld, right? And then there's Dage versus Nulgath, and this is Dage, and he's a cool fucking black and blue leader of, the fucking super undead and blade masters and homosexuals. I forgot bro has so much aura, whenever you try to leave, he just fucking straight up murders you. Now, there is a couple things I want to touch on. One of them being there is still a little bit of a community left. If you support Warframe, for the people who are watching that have come from Warframe, just know this game. I'm not going to compare the two in the sense of like, you know, what's better, what's worse. Obviously, they're different games. They're very hard to compare. But just know Adventure Quest Worlds is a MMORPG in the 2D style. As you can see, there's a lot of beautiful people with a lot of beautiful armors, and this isn't it. There's also a lot of amazing boss fights I could go through. The variety of gameplay, which is all these different classes, which is all different skill sets, skill subsets, buffs, debuffs. And once again, I know I said I wasn't going to compare Warframe in this game, but if you like the fashion in Warframe, you'll definitely like the fashion in this game. There is also support classes. A lot of the support classes in this game are very good. And the best part about them is all the best support classes are free. Another thing to mention about the class system and the classes in general is they all have different animations and obviously different skill sets down here. And the animations for a lot of these classes look amazing. The very first one I showed you was Archmage, the second one I showed you is Legion Paladin, and this very last one I have is called Virus Doom Knight. I don't even have all the classes. Obviously, there are some that are duplicates. After a quick Google search, according to the AI in Google, this game has over 130 classes to farm, which means you'll never be fucking bored. There's always something for you to do in this game. Like I've mentioned this so many times on stream, like you do something that you feel like should only take you an hour or two and maybe 4 to 6 hours have passed and you feel like you've gotten nothing done. This game is a game you can't stop playing. It's like beating your fucking meat. Once you start, you just can't stop. But 90% of these classes are classes that are all different, used for different things in your own way. Some of them are used for specific things, some of them you won't use at all, some of them you'll just put right into the bank. Obviously, there's your pay-to-win classes, but nothing usually beats the free classes you can actually farm. One of my new favorite classes that I recently picked up being Void High Lord, even though it isn't considered that great in the eyes of the community anymore, it is still a really cool fucking class, and the grind is really fun. Because the animations, as you can see, are a bunch of flying swords. When you realize who they're from, a dude named Nulgath, if you haven't played this game before, when you see that motherfucker, your balls will fucking drop. Your dick will get a little hard, your butthole might quiver a little bit. Part I definitely don't want to forget to mention is the amount of fucking shops that there are in this game. This is one of many. I don't even know if Google could give you a for sure answer on how many items there are in this game just for you to have. How you look and how you style yourself depends on you. There's so many items in this game. For you to look the same as someone else is close to impossible. Now I'm just running through as many items as I can find off the top of my head. Obviously these ones cost the currency of ACs, which we'll probably touch on in the next video. But there's obviously your member, which is stuff that is gold. There's AC tagged, which is usually free and or paid for. And then there's your basic bitch armor. Obviously, all the armors that you pay for are going to be substantially nicer. But there is a lot of really good non-member armor too. I have some of them myself, and I even go out of my way to farm some of them. Some of them being Nullgas, some of them being the Dage stuff. I know we touched on that earlier. They have some very beautiful items. For example, this is just some of the Dage stuff. Obviously, this isn't the best Dage stuff that you can find, or the best Nullgas stuff. Most of the Nullgas stuff is pretty much farmed. There's way more things that I just can't go through, like there's your badges, your achievements, your pay-to-win achievements that you'll just get drip for. You get drip just for playing the game or spending some money. Your cosmetics are entirely on you. I'm just saying the amount of cosmetics in this game is crazy. Now, I just want to show you some of the achievements I have from playing this game, which is considered to be the end game of this game. Blinding Light of Destiny, Sepulchre's Armor, and all of these are typically endgame things. Everything else is mid-tier, those two are mid-tier, except for everything else. That's pretty much endgame material. One thing I appreciate about this game is the endgame actually feels like an endgame. It takes a massive amount of time to get a lot of these items. Obviously, if you have no life and you don't touch grass, ass, or women, you can get a lot of this stuff done in a day or two, like myself. But the best part about it is that I've been playing this game for about 2.5 months every fucking day. It's the only game I've been playing. And I'm still not done. There's still more. I'm missing so much stuff, and I gotta keep collecting. Now, what you're seeing here is my character page. This basically shows you my account history. You going through all this stuff, you know, battle, support, exclusive hero mart. Is obviously this game is free to play, so the game has to, this leads me on to another topic of this game has to make money somehow. One of those ways is through not in-game membership and adventure coins and hero mart item. Is this game pay to win? You can progress and get some of the best classes in this game just by playing the game. And a lot of them have to do with actually these badges. And what I mean specifically by some things you can pay to get is this Hero Mart stuff specifically is stuff you can buy in real life that ranges from t-shirts to posters to stuffies to hoodies, and it'll give you a badge with a code so you could redeem it in your account. Now, when it comes to Endgame and a little bit of Endgame progression, right now, during the making of this video, I have been working on King's Echo. I have done so much in this game when it comes to Endgame progression. I'm about halfway there. I haven't even done the harder shit. I'm missing LR, I'm missing Argo. Argo is the hardest thing to farm so far in this game when it comes to endgame content. For example, this is the Argo, the armor. This is the step-by-step process of everything you need and all the things you got to do in order to get this. This is the pinnacle of an endgame item. This is the pinnacle of AQ's endgame. This is the one of the, if not the best item in the game to farm for. And this is the list of things that you need to do / have done / do need to farm it. If this is an endgame to you, I don't know what is. For King's Echo, just to give you kind of an idea of what you're looking at when it comes to getting some of these end game items, is it's usually a quest line and or stuff you have to do in order to get it. So there was 2 quests for King's Echo. The first one, you just needed to kill a bunch of enemies, and this one, in order to get King's Echo, I just need to have all of these things. King Ultian's Crown, Royal Dragon's Sword, Aldian's Mace, Altian's Reforged Armor. Now, this is stuff I'm saving for stream, so I'm not going to specifically show you how to do it, but you click on Father's Gear. It basically takes you and shows you and tells you how to get all these pieces. This game, with the newer updates especially, this was only kind of an issue with the older updates, is it wouldn't really tell you where to go because there's so much content in random places in this game, so many different things for you to do, that it's actually fucking crazy that they'd expect you to go around the entirety of 20 years worth of content built into this, baked, loved, poured into this game. And they expect you to just be like, yeah, go find that motherfucker. This guy is also another guy who you have to do a quest line for. You have to do a big-ass quest line. It'll take you a fat minute, but at the end of it, this is where you get Vera's Doom Knight. This is another one I've completed. I can't really show you the quest list because I finished it, but just mind you, these aren't the only 2 items. When it comes to endgame, there is a lot, and I may be halfway through them. Maybe 40-50% tops. And there's more to come, not only just in the things I have left to do, but the fact that they're updating the game every single week. They're always adding more story, which means they're always adding more content for me and you to enjoy. How could you not love that? Now, I wanted to talk about a little bit about like the end game and how it intertwines. Obviously, I will need to cover more of this in a whole separate video because I'll use what I've done recently as an example. So I was farming the Fiend Shard quests here. Every quest I completed, this shard grew. There was about 5 or 6 quests, I can't remember exactly, but as you can see, I've done them all, so they're not here. And the reason I was doing these quests is farming for a Forge enhancement called Ravenous, which makes a class I have better. But I got soft-locked. So I got to the very last quest, and I got soft-locked the fact I didn't have Void Highlord. I got Void Highlord, and then I came to another issue. I didn't have another weapon. To put the Forge Ravenous on. So I needed to farm another 51% is what I'm trying to get at now, because it's all going to synergize here in a minute. The reason I needed Ravenous was for Void Highlord class, but I didn't have anything to put Ravenous on, so I farmed the Necrotic Sword of the Abyss to go with it. See how that all plays together and how that endgame is just so fun. The grinds are long, but they are really fun, and you feel super rewarded at the end. And the coolest thing about it all is this is something I didn't even touch on yet. Once again, this might have to be its own video to kind of go over a little more of this endgame stuff, but these endgame items have percentages attached to them. Not only do I have an enhancement already on it that already does make it do more damage, but they also come with these little tags like 51%, gold 25%, and they're all different. There's armors that make you do more damage overall, like this one where I just hate everybody equally. Obviously it doesn't look that great, but I'm doing more damage just for the sake of the fact that I did the Fiend Shard, which I needed to do for Ravenous I needed to do for VHL, and VHL I needed to do just to have for my goddamn badges. The endgame synergizes so well. I can't tell you guys how impressed. But the craziest shit is it's not just weapons that have these multipliers. There's armor, there's helmets, there's capes, there's even a fucking, this is my goat. One of my favorite things that I've gotten, like when I kind of just started the end game, so I was like mid game. I have a racist fucking Moglin. Look at bro. He hates everybody equally. And look, all he does is exist and be cute. Bro's just wearing knight armor being adorable. Like, come on, tell me, you're telling me you wouldn't want to play this fucking game? Now, don't get me wrong, obviously I can't touch on every single thing in the game. There's obviously things that I will miss, things that are going to happen. I could definitely try and make a part 2 and or describe a little more things in depth, but the one thing I do want to say is the lag can be really bad. Now, there's a way to combat this lag, as in making your quality worse, because this game was made with such an old software. It doesn't really run off your GPU, it mostly runs off your CPU. So your GPU in this game, as it sits right now, is pointless. But because Adobe Flash was such an old, shitty software, they can't run it back to make it look the way it did. Sorry, they can't run it back to change it so that you can fix your looks, because it's not a fucking thing anymore. Which, I mean, makes sense. Start, and you get that sense of euphoria from beating a quest, from killing a boss, from completing one of the bosses in the storylines. The lag is probably the biggest issue in the game. Another thing I have an issue with is their business model. They seem to shove, like, buying shit down your throat. That's something that... Now, this is a topic for a different video when it comes to issues I have, but the ones that are screaming at you as soon as you start the game is, wow, it's 2D, it's laggy, the quality's not there. Now, as you can see, I'm by myself. The quality is not that bad. Right now, I'm just killing one of the 13 Lords of Chaos. Spoiler, I apologize. And the call to action is, I'm one person. I need your help. So my goal for 2026 is not only to bring back Adventure Quest Worlds, I want to introduce you to the newest game that is in development, which is Adventure Quest Infinity. Now, your first question for me probably is, AQ Infinity. What's AQ Infinity? AQ Infinity is supposed to be the next Adventure Quest Worlds. It's not you restarting if you've already had an account or playing the game. A lot of your stuff is actually going to transfer. What they're doing is rebuilding the game from a ground up with a new engine, one that they could do better work and better things with. Obviously, one thing I don't know is the release date for this game. They haven't announced a release date. They just said they wanted to come out before GTA 6. Now, the craziest thing about that is GTA 6 is still a very far time away, so why the fuck are we waiting that long? Part of the reason we're actually waiting that long for AQ Infinity, like I said, they're building the game from a ground up. Apparently, they've already been working on it for a very long time, is it's also going to be released on Steam.
Infinity! The hit MMO is going cross-platform!
Yes, and you're going to need a mobile device.
The skull's on it!
Oh my god.
Spikes on the skulls.
Cringe.
And on fire!
Oh wow!
Let all the homies
I can
not
finally
engrave win
play
this
on
game.
Any device.
But can I log in with my old
Oh my
AQ
God.
Worlds account?
You sure can, champ.
And will I still have all my stuff?
Oh, you betcha.
Yup,
I heard
yup,
the team's
yup.
in the process of converting.
You heard that right. If you start AQ Worlds right now, you can log in when this game drops and still have all of your stuff. That's kind of the point I wanted to show you. Is yes, they're rebuilding game. Yes, they're remastering. But whatever you acquire in Worlds, you know, pay-to-win currency, or sorry, no, real cash. Obviously, they're pay-to-play currency, which is adventure coins, aka ACs. Not only will all this stuff that you've bought over the years transfer, as you guys saw my large inventory of just random shit and stuff that you'll acquire, not even just me, but stuff that you'll acquire in the first couple hours of your gameplay, but it all will be in this new game that is rebuilt from the ground up. Not only is it nicer, it's smoother, it's 60 FPS, and it's gonna take a lot of the issues we have with AQ Worlds. And I could definitely make a video on just issues of AQ Worlds, but I gotta give the game some glaze first because of the fact, the effort that these developers are putting into this game. I cannot stress enough how bad not only I need your help, but this community needs your help, and these developers need your help. With your support, your guys is fucking, like, glazing. I imagine they'll get the game out sooner rather than later. So I was really hoping that if I made this video, you guys could help me. My new acquired friend from stream, Boba, has also made a video very similar to this called I Spent 30 Days in the Worst MMO Ever, and it actually wasn't. Please subscribe to Boba. Please subscribe to me. Follow me on Twitch. Follow him on Twitch. Follow us as much as you can while we try to bring back this game. I appreciate you listening to my rambling, my glazing, and my little bit of issues that I have with AQ. It isn't a lot, but I'd have to make a separate video on this because this video's already going on too long. Other than that, it has been that fat, worthless piece of shit you'll know and love, named Rezex, and I'm out. Peace.